Well, guys, I pretty much ensured my computer's never going to work again. In order to do this test, I myself bought every single VPN, some of the biggest ones, and not every single one, but the biggest ones. I bought all of them with my own money, spending around like 150 or more, or $200 today, just to buy all these VPNs and test them at exactly the same time. Yeah, here they are on my computer for proof right now, all logged in. Let's just say it's a little bit of a mess here with all these VPNs installed. But guys, what was the purpose of this? Why did I do this? Well, I wanted to make an actual test showing you guys which is the fastest VPN. I wanted to dive deep into the actual data, conduct speed tests on each single VPN to see which one is the fastest. But then I got the idea. Why stop there? Why don't I see which VPN is the best value for what speed you get? So I did a couple equations dividing the price from the speed and so forth to find the price per performance ratio. I also did some speed tests with just my VPN off to see my speed, how it compares, and how the various VPNs have speed degradation. So with all these things in mind, I tested Nord, Surfshark, ExpressVPN, Molvad, Proton, AirVPN, CyberGhost, IPVanish, and Private Internet Access VPN. A small note here is that for some reason, Private Internet Access was the only VPN on this list that didn't want to work with WireGuard. I'm not sure why, but I tried troubleshooting it for a bit, but eventually gave up, seeing how the only protocol that would work, the one that it actually defaulted to, was OpenVPN. So in this results, Private Internet Access a little bit slower than all the other ones, but I still think it's a worthwhile metric to observe. So guys, let's go ahead and dive deep into the data. I also want to say that this video is not sponsored by any VPN or anything like that, although I am an affiliate for these VPN providers. So if you want to choose my top speed result VPNs, I'll put links for those in the description down below. Those also include discounts, but if you don't want to help support the channel, you don't have to. This test was not monetized by any of these VPNs. So guys, with that in mind, let's get into this results right here. All right, guys, so here are the results. We have blue is the download speed, red is the upload speed, and here we have the chart here. So from my findings and speed test results, NordVPN was a clear winner here. There was almost no degradation or no change in speed. As you can see from this chart right here, I actually got a little bit better of speed with Nord than I did without it on, which is interesting to see. Next up, we had Surfshark performing secondarily best. And as you can see from this chart, I mean, this chart and that chart are kind of like the same thing, just organized differently in terms of how the data looks. But we have speed degradation and total speed. So as you can see here, well, I just kind of moved it in the way of the camera. Whoops. But clearly VPN or private internet access was the slowest, had the most degradation here on the slowest speeds. Like I said, probably due to using OpenVPN, I couldn't get a WireGuard working. But outside of that, anomalous results, we see a rankings here. ExpressVPN ranked 3rd, Molvad 4th, Proton 5th, AirVPN 6th, and CyberGhost 7th. So then we kind of looked at, these are results. Okay, so Nord and Surfshark are the fastest. It makes sense. I've been testing these VPNs a long time. Those have always been my results as well. So it's nice to see the results on my data-driven analysis today line up with actual reviews currently on the channel. But outside of that, we also wanted to look at, what is the price per performance. So what I did is a calculation there. I analyzed the 2-year plan for these VPNs and then combined it with the speed and then did the calculation there to see the performance of each one. So let's go ahead and go to my article I made about this test, and we can see the price per performance right here. So this graph, the smaller the bar, it means there's better price per performance or a better result. And a bigger bar means that it's more expensive and you're paying more for speeds than you would with other VPNs. So in this analysis, I found that Surfshark actually was the best price per performance VPN. It's really cheap. According to the latest pricing, it's around $59 for 2 years. And you even get a couple extra months with my link as well. I didn't factor that in really. But $59 for 2 years is around 0.169 per megabit over a 2-year term. So yeah, that is a very good deal for the speeds you get. Paying so little to get a very, very good speed. It's ranked number 2, just tiny bit below NordVPN. So Surfshark was a clear value proposition here. And if we're not looking just at value, NordVPN was the fastest, and it has a very good value too. So Surfshark has a little bit better value, a little bit less performance. NordVPN has a little bit more performance, a little less value. So that's very interesting to see. Both of these VPNs are owned by similar companies. You know, they kind of have similar shareholder, I think, or something like that. So it's interesting to see this so finely tuned from each VPN provider that, you know, they're spending a little bit more money, or the servers have a little bit more for NordVPN or something like that, but it's a little more expensive. And Surfshark, a little less speeds, but a little bit better value. So very interesting there. I'll put links for those in the description down below. Like I said, if you want to get discounts, I didn't even include those extra months in this analysis since that's an affiliate special. So if you want to get that deal, click the links in the description. Otherwise, we could keep discussing the other options out there. ExpressVPN actually came at third in terms of speeds. It's gotten faster. It's definitely a bigger VPN, so that makes sense. However, ExpressVPN wasn't as good in terms of price per performance since it is a more expensive VPN provider. And in fact, Mulvad over a 2-year term actually was worse than ExpressVPN just because of how expensive it is long term. Although short term, it's much better than a lot of options out there because you're paying short term is not too much. I think on my list here, ExpressVPN was around $139. Mulvad was 120, but according to this chart here, like I said, Mulvad was a little bit more, was a little slower than ExpressVPN, so that's how that happened. Proton VPN did pretty good. Air VPN did decent. And CyberGhost actually did very well price per performance. If you look here on the chart, CyberGhost got 488 download. According to this chart here, right here, not that fast, but for how cheap it is, it's actually a pretty good deal, $57. It's actually one of the cheapest VPNs here on this list. IPVanish was actually the cheapest price I could find, but according to the downloads and stuff like that, it's also not very fast. So the price per performance is actually not very good. All right, guys, I think that sums it up pretty good. You could find this article on vpntierlist.com/blog with more of the findings and kind of more in-depth analysis of it. If you like this kind of analytical, data-driven video, let me know down in the comments down below. This one took definitely a little bit more effort, a little bit more money to make since I paid for all these VPNs myself and did all the tests individually as well. So thanks for the support of these videos, and I'll see you again very soon.